Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Nelly. You find me back here at Triple Crown Watches. We're talking about the Rolex Yachtmaster, and getting straight into it, I think this watch is much better than a Submariner for many reasons. First of all, we have kind of the same sized case, but it's very different. At the first glance you might think that this is almost the same case, but it's actually not. Starting off with the fact that it is a thinner case. So this is a 11.2 millimeter case, whereas the Submariner has a 12.6 millimeter thick case. But more importantly is definitely the design of the lugs of this watch and also the shape of the case itself. Whilst the Submariner has a very kind of straight side of the case, this one is kind of a much more of a round and more elegant case, kind of similar to that of the Rolex Daytona actually. And whilst it maintains the same characteristics than the Submariner, so it is a sports watch, it does look like a diver watch, although it's not, because this is 100 meters water resistance as opposed to the 300 meters of the Rolex Submariner. But nevertheless, who actually needs the 300 meters water resistance? Because I know that most of you wear your watches sitting on a desk anyways, so you don't really need the 300 meters water resistance. Plus, where it gets really interesting with this watch is the bezel. This is not a steel bezel, this is a platinum bezel. And you have these embossed numerals, so it's kind of this 3D bezel, and I think that looks really, really cool on the Yachtmaster. And I think it really gives this watch an edge over the Submariner. It looks extremely elegant, especially with the high polished center links of the bracelet and then the brushed outer links of the bracelet. It is the same oyster type bracelet, but it's much more elegant than the one on the Submariner. And this design just goes through and through onto the clasp. Now in terms of movement, it's obviously a COSC certified movement with a power reserve of 70 hours. And then again, coming back to design, I think the dials that come with a Yachtmaster are so much more interesting than the gloss black dials on the Submariners. Now this is not to say that Submariners are not interesting watches, but they are so much more mainstream than the Yachtmaster, and I think the Yachtmaster tends to be overlooked a lot. I mean, look at the dial of this one. This is a stunning sunburst dark blue dial, and then you have this beautiful contrasting red seconds hand. So speaking about dials, apart from this Yachtmaster that is available here at Triple Crown Watches, you also have the rhodium dial, which is also extremely beautiful, and then the chocolate kind of sunburst dial on the two-toned Yachtmasters, which are really, really stunning looking watches. And I think as a whole you just get a bit more for the package. If you're into Submariners, I think you should consider a Yachtmaster as well. It's obviously not a dive watch. Again, it's water resistant to 100 meters, so you can go swimming with this, no problem at all. But you do have a bidirectional bezel, which is obviously a sailing type bezel, which you can use to measure distances, or you can, it's actually more useful to a diving bezel if you want to time daily things like boiling your eggs or whatever. But don't go diving with this, or you might be out of air sooner than you think. So who is the Yachtmaster for? What type of person would wear a Yachtmaster? I guess it's for you if you want kind of an elegant, sporty watch that you can also wear without a problem with a suit to more formal occasions, but you don't want to worry about it being not water resistant enough, as that would be the case with a dress watch. So this is definitely a do-it-all watch, but you do have to keep in mind that this is definitely a bit more blingy than a Submariner. But at the same time, whilst being blingy, it is elegant. It is definitely elegant. It is not too much in your face because of the design of the case. It has this rounded lugs, the rounded off case, and the thinner profile. Definitely thinner than the Submariner, and you do have to keep that in mind. So I think it is a great daily watch, and again, even more perfect holiday watch, to be honest with you. So it is still a sports watch. It is still in that same category. It might not be a diver, but definitely a sports watch, especially because the case, especially from afar, resembles much to that of the Submariner. But then you have the little details that are more elegant, such as the high polish, such as the platinum bezel, and then also the dial, which is definitely a bit more interesting, a bit more intriguing. It reflects the light differently because it is a sunburst dial. It's not just a gloss black dial. So you have all these little things, and adding them together, you get a really interesting package, as opposed to the mainstream Submariner. So I want to hear from you if you would take a Yachtmaster with Submariner, and if so, which one would it be? Would it be this one? Would it be the rhodium dial? Would it be the one on the oyster flex, or maybe the two-tone? But that's it from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Ciao.